Let's talk about one project that might change our perspective, celebrate this curiosity that you speak of. One of the biggest reasons this is still an open question about are we alone is because of the immense distance between stars and galaxies. The travel time is huge. We are just too slow. But you are actively working on a project that will reduce the travel time between stars. So I want to talk about that project. What is the Breakthrough Starshot project? What is the light sail? What is the technology behind it? What is the physics behind it?
Right. So over the past 70 years or so, or 65 years, all the rockets that we launched, starting with Sputnik, move at the speed of tens of kilometers per second. And, that's faster by a factor of 1,000 than Henry Ford's T-car, the first car that became commercial. And for such a rocket, including New Horizons, that was launched most recently and will go into interstellar space, it would take 50,000 years to reach the nearest star. And that is the amount of time that elapsed since the first humans left Africa. You need to be really patient. If we were to launch New Horizons when the first humans left Africa, it would reach Proxima Centauri now. And just think about having humans go through that period of time, not necessarily on the spaceship, but even on Earth. It's just a ridiculously long time. And a lot has happened since then, we know. And so what we need is another factor of 1,000 improvement, bringing it to a fraction of the speed of light. Yeah. For example, New Horizons moves at 1 part in 10,000 of the speed of light. So if you boost the speed by a factor of 1,000, it's about 1/10 of the speed of light. And then it would take of the order of 50 years to get to Proxima Centauri. So that's the question. Can we reach a fraction of the speed of light with a spacecraft? And that's the question that Yuri Milner, an entrepreneur from Silicon Valley, asked me in May 2015 when he came to my office out of a black limousine and sat on the sofa in front of me at my office and said, I would like you to look into this question, and I'm willing potentially to fund the research if indeed there is a way of doing that. So I said, I need 6 months. I immediately agreed to check it. And then after 6 months, I was actually visiting Israel at the time with my wife. She said, let's go to a goat farm. And so we were on the way out from the hotel room, and I got a phone call from Yuri Milner's executive director named Pete Warden. And he said, Yuri would like to hear your conclusion if you can present it at his home within a couple of weeks. So that was December 2015. And I said, okay, I'll work on a presentation. We got to the goat farm. There was no internet connectivity except for in
the office.
The office, yeah. Exactly. And I sat with my back to the office, typing in the presentation, looking at the newly born goats. That was at 6 a.m. in the morning. And then I went and presented one method that can work. I mean, there is no way of using, for example, nuclear energy to reach that speed of, let's say, 20% of the speed of light. The only way that works is using light to push on a spacecraft. And for that, you need a sail, basically, just like this, the sail in a sailboat, which is pushed by the wind, basically air streaming and bouncing off the sail on a boat is propelling it. And in this case, it's light that is bouncing off a very thin membrane. If it's thin enough, then it's not very massive, and then it can fly up to the speed of light in principle. So we, in the subsequent months, Yuri liked the idea. We worked very intensively on the details of whether there are any showstoppers. And we realized that if you have a laser of 100 gigawatt shining on a sail that weighs just a few grams, the size of a person, about 2 meters or so, you focus the light on the sail for a few minutes, it could reach 20% of the speed of light across a distance that is 5 times the distance to the moon. And so we made a research program out of this concept. We announced the project in New York City in the company of Stephen Hawking, that came especially from England, for 3 weeks. And actually, during his visit, I also inaugurated the Black Hole Initiative at Harvard University. That's a center that is focused on the study of black holes that I was the founding director of. And so it all worked out, and we are still working on components, critical components of this technology, but it will take a while before it gets realized. And so it's, as far as I can tell, it's a vision that hopefully future generations will take advantage of, and perhaps other technological civilizations already realized. We might see that.